Hey guys, welcome back to I'm Just a Fan. It's your host Ben. I just wanted to say before I start this video, I am a little out of my element right now. I'm not usually recording in the place I record at, so if the sound is a little off, I apologize. I just had to make this stuff happen. Still wanted to record, had some volume things going on, so I just wanted to say that before we started. But yeah, really excited to talk about the Premier League this weekend. In my opinion, this weekend is one that we may look back again. It's only, the end of September, but I feel like there could be some real title implications, or at least some things that told us about some teams this weekend. And this might be a weekend that we look back at even either in a couple months or potentially in April, May, and just see like, wow, this is where X team really got on their run, or this is where X team showed that they have some fight. So I think there's a lot to discuss from this weekend. I'm going to try to hit most of the big games, and yeah, let's get right into it. To start the weekend off, Liverpool drop points. And not only do they drop points, they lose. They lose for the first time this year. They lose to Palace on the road. Again, a tough place to play. And before we get into Liverpool, I have to give credit to Crystal Palace. My God, this team has looked very good, really, over the last, I would say, pretty much this entire year, even a little bit of last year as well. They've been building something with Glasner. Yes, of course, they lose Eze. He's not there anymore, but it doesn't matter. They still have Gahey. It's an interesting time right now for them. But again, you still won the FA Cup. And now going into after the weekend against Liverpool, they are 18. In their last 18 games, they have not lost any of them. And that is including Europe as well. Yes, they've had some draws. But the fact that they have not lost a game in 18 games straight, including Europe, one hell of a feat for Crystal Palace. I wanted to give them credit before we discuss Liverpool. So now on to Liverpool. Liverpool, you guys finally got done by your dark magic that you've been committing on everyone for really this entire season, at least the beginning of it. And it couldn't have come from a better player as an Arsenal fan. Eddie Nketiah with a huge goal right to end the game. And in my opinion, Palace really did deserve the result. I mean, they looked like the better team. They scored earlier. I thought they did a pretty decent job defending as well. Yes, at some point, Chiesa did score, but still, overall, in my opinion, Liverpool, they had some chances, but it's not like they were necessarily the most dominant team. In my opinion, Palace really did look like they held their own, especially, again, in this type of fixture, this type of result. And it really just, for me, was what was standing out so much with Liverpool was, number one, Liverpool have not won a game convincingly this entire season so far, and that's fine. Every team is supposed to, you're supposed to win at the end of the day. We're not here to go back and be like, oh, X amount of team had so many blowout wins. Yes, that's great. That's icing on top of the cake. But if you don't win, no one's going to care. So, obviously, I'm not taking away anything from their wins. But everyone knows there is, wins are different. They're not just a win. It's, oh, you won convincingly. Oh, we won, but it was a little tight. Or we won by the skin of our teeth. And Liverpool this year have won by the skin of their teeth in a lot of games. They've won, and it's just what they've done. And again, credit to them for doing that. Not many teams can say that. But finally, it happened this week where it didn't go their way, even though it looked like it was about to, because, of course, they got the goal from Chiesa. And for me, it's just like, okay, when are we going to see a dominant win from Liverpool? I want to start seeing that from that side. And yes, I think a lot of this is due to, of course, you're still getting new players in. I mean, obviously, it's not really a secret at this point. Florian Wirtz, he is just not playing good enough right now. He has really not made any type of impact for Liverpool. And again, it's early. I'm not going to kill him. But for the amount that they signed him for, it just doesn't look like he's comfortable out there right now. Maybe he's struggling to adapt in the Prem, the physicality, I'm not sure. But he just does not look like he's really handling it. Obviously, Isak as well. He is really just kind of getting his footing in with Liverpool. You also did not have Ekitike because he got the red card against Southampton last week. So a lot of things weren't really going Liverpool's way, and it finally, didn't go their way. They didn't get this dark magic goal that they've been trying to have, this entire season. So I just want to say, again, ton of credit to Crystal Palace. Liverpool, I think they will bounce back, but still, you lose. No more invincible, season. Not that I think they were really banking on that, but you lose. You show that you can be had. And I think this, in the long term, will be a wake-up call for Liverpool. They got to win these games. And also, you got to, again, if you're going to be going against other sides, you have to win convincingly. We just haven't seen it much this year. So I think that's Liverpool's biggest focus. And again, tons of credit to Palace after this. The next game we got to talk about, and man, I was debating on making a video about this, but I was like, hey, I also want to talk about the Prem in general. We're just going to change it up this week. Arsenal get a huge, huge result at St. James's Park, 2-1. Gabriel with a huge header to win the game. Man, I'm not going to lie, for a majority of the game, and I thought Arsenal played all right, I was kind of coping. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to drop points again. We're going to drop points again. We're not even going to get a single point. But then Marino scores. I was like, okay, I love the fight. I'm very happy about the fight. But still, I want to win. I want to win. But I'm not going to say, like, going into St. James's Park isn't a tough spot. And then, of course, again, Gabriel, he just has a perfectly timed header. Huge by him. And for me, this win just showed me so much about Arsenal. Number one, it's the manager. The manager finally started Eze. I feel like he finally really went for it this game. After my complaints, as you guys know in my video, he, in my opinion, put the handbrakes on the team last week. Midfield, Marino, Zubimene, and Rice. He up this week. He had Eze starting, and I think that was the right play. And he even made some big subs as well. I mean, he took Saka off. That might have gotten criticized if they didn't win. Again, putting Martinelli on, it just, putting Marino on. Like, there was just a lot for him to do this week, and I just think he got it right. And again, Arteta was hearing it all week. He was hearing it from me. He was hearing it from the media. And in my opinion, he shut everyone up. So I really like that. I really like that, and I like that he went for it. And just in general with this team, the last 4 out of 5 games at St. James's Park, Arsenal have lost. They were going against that. You get screwed over, in my opinion. I don't know. Is it ticky-tacky call? But come on. VAR just says no to the penalty. They say no penalty, even though they literally gave the penalty, but then they overturn it. So you're dealing with that. And you're knowing the fact that, hey, you're trying to block out the noise. But Liverpool lost yesterday. You can make up a very big gap if you win this game again at St. James. And they did. And Arsenal were also down 1-0. It was just a ton of fight. Just knowing the moment, getting the result that you want. This is what champions do. Now, I don't know if this is going to, put them on the trajectory to go win the Premier League, but I would absolutely hope so. And now we only have a 2-point gap between Liverpool and Arsenal. And I just think that was absolutely huge to get that result after everything that happened this weekend. It was huge. And I'm just so proud of the team for getting it done, because a lot of people were questioning them this weekend. Can they adapt? Can they do this? Can they do this? And they did it. So I thought that was fantastic stuff. Really, really loved, again, what I saw from Arteta and what I just saw from the entire team. Absolutely loved it in such a huge spot as well. Big stuff for Arsenal. And just for the rest of the Premier League in general, again, it was just a big weekend. Manchester United, again, lose 3-1 to Brentford out of all teams. Not a great result. It just feels like right now, Manchester United, you do one thing good, like last week against Chelsea. Decent result. Obviously, they had the red card and everything, but you won. It's big. But they just cannot build on it. They cannot build on any of these results. And again, it just seems like the fan base is getting frustrated with Emery. I don't know how this is going to go, but every single time they do something good, it doesn't go their way. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen next with Manchester United. Realistically, it's going to be a lot more of this, so we'll see when it comes to that. City kill Burnley 5-1. It was 1-1 at one point, but they got it done. Huge result for them. Again, not when many people were probably watching them, but still, you had to get that type of result, and they did. So I have to give City a ton of credit for that. And then Chelsea lose at home 3-1 to Brighton, and they were up. That was a bad performance from Chelsea, and it just hasn't really been the best September for them. I mean, they've had a couple tough results. Again, last week, you had the red card early with Sanchez, pretty much forced you to lose. And then this week, you get another red card, and you're at home as well. I'm curious to what Chelsea fans are thinking. I know they're very reactionary with this stuff, but it's been rough. I mean, again, you don't look like you're up to par against Bayern as well in the UCL. Obviously, that's a tough fixture. We have UCL tomorrow. Actually, as of me recording this, it's a Monday night on my time, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Chelsea have a lot to bounce back from. They have a lot to prove. Maybe they were getting a little high from the the world. Why am I blanking on this? The tournament in America, the World Cup, whatever it's called. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. Regardless, the Club World Cup. maybe people are just getting a little too high on Chelsea. I still think they're going to be a good team, but they are so young. And I was listening to this on a podcast today, and people have said this. It just seems like whenever they go down or they get a red card in these type of situations, it just doesn't. It seems like Chelsea don't know what to do, or they don't know how to combat this. Maybe this could be changed if they actually had a couple more veterans on the club. I don't know. Just some food for thought. Let me know what you guys think. But rough month for Chelsea. And the last one that I wanted to mention was Spurs do have a draw against Wolves, so they're still at the top of the table. But you want to get that result. Not the best one from Spurs, but they at least got a point. But still, that has implications on the standings, and let's get into those now. So Liverpool are currently in first with 15 points. Arsenal are in second with 13 points. You have Palace at 12, and then you have Spurs at 11, Sunderland at 11, and then some ones that I thought are interesting. You have City at 7, and you have Chelsea at 8. So the way the title, if you want to even call it that, because it's so early, the way the title race is going, it seems like it's Liverpool and Arsenal. I still think City can come back into this, but they need to give us consistent form. They've been looking better. Chelsea at this point, I don't really know what to say. Again, you're 8th. You got to start picking up points. You've been dropping too many points for me to really consider you to be anywhere near a real race. I think Tottenham are still in as well. But again, a draw against Wolves in a weekend like this, having a win there would have been huge. So maybe those type of things start to add up against them. I don't know. But the fact that still Palace are in 3rd, and Sunderland are in 5th. I know it's early, but that's incredible. And again, I heard this on a podcast today, and it had me thinking. All we were saying last year was, okay, there's a lot of good teams in the Prem, but is a lot of the league actually not that good? Is the middle of the league good? Or the teams in the Prem were good last year. Like I'm thinking again, Arsenal, obviously Liverpool were great last year. City had a little bit of a down year, but they're still okay. But this year, it looks like the top talent has even gotten better. In my opinion, Arsenal are better this year. Liverpool, we'll have to see. I think City, at least they should be better this year. But then when you look at the promoted teams, Palace. Well, not Palace. Palace isn't promoted, but they're doing fantastic. Leeds are doing fantastic. Sunderland are doing fantastic. I mean, the two lowest teams right now in the race are Wolves, West Ham, and I think either Villa or someone else. I can't remember off the top of my head. But regardless, it just seems like the Prem is so deep this year on all levels. The fact that, again, Palace are in 3rd. What? Again, in the last 18 games, they are unbeaten. They are unbeaten in the last 18 games. And that is counting Europe. Like, this is just crazy stuff to me. So, again, I don't want to yap for too long. I just wanted to discuss this because I thought, wow, this was such a pivotal weekend for the Premier League. And I'm curious to see, again, what type of implications does this week have on, the title? Does this let us know more about Arsenal? Are they really ready to go for this? Do Liverpool have a little bit more weak links than, we were expecting? Though there have been signs of it. What's up with Chelsea? Are City gaining their form? Was this just a blip for Spurs? There's so much really to consider. So, regardless, let me know what you guys think down below. Would really love to hear your thoughts on the Prem right now. Who do you guys still, have winning? Do you guys have any real takeaways from this weekend? Please let me know. And if you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you like my type of content, feel free to subscribe. And I have my short-term content over on TikTok. Check that out when you can. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.